which is a rare fruit that costs 960,000 belly. And on the other hand, we got the Kitsune fruit, which is considered the best and most expensive fruit in the whole game, and it costs 8 million belly. Just look at this price difference for a second. The Kitsune fruit costs more than 8 times what the magma fruit costs. And overall, the Kitsune fruit is incredibly overpowered because you can just tell by its price. The first ability of the Kitsune fruit is its normal attack, which has an M1 click, and the magma fruit actually does not have an M1 attack. The C ability is called Cursed Enchantment, but you just shoot a bunch of energy towards your enemy. The X ability is called Tales of Burning Agony, where you kind of just zip bullets and shoot at your enemy. You've got the C ability, which is called Foxfire Disruption, where you just shoot a massive projectile at your enemy. And then the B ability is the Transformation, where you actually turn into a Kitsune. Then we got the F ability, which is called Wind Assault. This is a movement ability as well as a damage ability. But one thing about all of these abilities is that most of them are suited towards PvP, which means it isn't ideal for grinding. And everyone knows when you're trying to get levels in the game, you obviously want to be focusing more on grinding than PvP. It just makes more sense. Now let's take a look at the Magma Fruit. The first ability of the Magma Fruit is called Magma Clap. Pretty terrible. It's also a single target ability. Then we got Magma Eruption, and this also looks pretty bad. Then we got the C ability, which is Magma Fist, which isn't that bad, but it is still overall not that good of an ability. Then we finally got the B ability, which is Magma Meteors, which is the only decent ability of the Unawakened Magma Fruit. Then we got the F ability, which is called Magma Floor, and overall just a pretty terrible ability. Now one thing I did not tell you about the Magma Fruit is that it actually has an awakening, which means you can basically just upgrade all of its abilities by awakening the fruit. The upgraded version of the Z ability looks like this. It's called Magma Shower. Just look at how overpowered it is. And you can just see by the ability that it does area damage, which already makes it better than the Kitsune Fruit's first ability. And the Magma Fruit actually does the most damage in the game if you count the damage that the puddle leaves over. You're gonna notice that most of the Magma Fruit's abilities leave behind this huge magma blob. And if your enemy actually stands in them, then they continue taking a butt ton of damage, even more from the original strike that they received. The next ability is called Volcanic Assault, and this is the only ability of the Awakened Magma Fruit that's actually not area damage. Then we got the C ability, and this is called Great Magma Hound, where you just shoot at a huge magma blob that deals a lot of damage. Then we got the B ability called Volcanic Storm, which literally just decimates your enemy. Just look at how powerful this is. Then we got an F ability, which just looks like a normal movement ability, which you can ride on. But once you're done using this movement ability, you can actually launch it as a projectile towards your enemy. And on top of this, you also get immunity to lava. So if you're grinding at any island where there's lava, you can just completely decimate your enemies. And on top of that, this fruit is actually an elemental fruit, which means if your enemy is actually a lower level than you, then they won't be able to do any damage to you. Unless they have Haki, of course. So now that you've looked at both fruits, tell me which one is better for grinding. It's obvious.